In this video I will show how to create tests with JUnit 5. This guide is for beginners, but it can be useful for experienced developers who are interested in JUnit testing. Small agenda about this tutorial is here. Since it is a quick guide, some topics will not be covered in this video. I will develop code in IntelliJ IDE, see my video how to install it. I will also use Java 16, but code can be used for lower versions of Java. I will also add link to GitHub with a source code under this video, see description. Let's set up our project in IDE. I'm using IntelliJ IDE, but you can choose IDE you like. We will create a new project. Click New Project. Select Gradle, check that Java checkbox is also checked. You also need to have Project SDK configured. Select preferred version or download JDK. You can also take a look at my video about JDK installation. Links are in description and above. Click Next. Type your project name, check that location is correct. I will use JUnit 5 tests project name, and for artifact group it I will type org.pfg and set version to 1.0. OK, click Finish. Wait while all build processes are finished and all Java folders were added. src, main, test, Java and resources. Update dependencies to version 5.7.2, it is the latest one. Click Rebuild. Next we will create package org.pgf both for test and main folders. Before we create our class for testing, I will explain how this class works. We will create number transformer class that will transform integer numbers into its strings representation, and for testing purpose we will limit allowed numbers. Allowed numbers are 1, 2 and 3, for other numbers we will have exception thrown. See how it works on this picture. Let's switch to our IDE and create number transformer class. We will implement it step by step. First we create transform method that will take a number and return its string representation. As you can see, we throw exception in case our number is less or equal to 0 or greater or equal to 4. Here we also have special transformation map that transforms allowed values to string. Let's add this map. Since I'm using Java version 16, I will use eventries method for map creation. You can use this approach for Java version 9 or higher. This map takes number 1, 2 or 3 as a key and has a string value with a key's string representation. As you can see, key 3 has incorrect value with EE, it is for testing purposes. See GitHub link with a code from this tutorial. You can also use the following code if your Java version is before 9. You can also this code for Java 9 or higher too. But I will continue with a Java 9 compatible version. We will also add some fake functionality for testing and name it as data cached and add two methods, setup cache that sets is data cached to true and prints a message, clear cache method that sets is data cached to false and prints a message, and is data cached method that returns value of is data cached. In real life it could be some cache method that prepares data or something like that. Okay, our class is ready, and now we are ready to switch to test class creation. Our next topic is annotations. I will cover some basic annotations in this section. Test, before each, after all, before all. We will create number transformer test class. And add our number transformer class as private final. Okay, our first test starts with test annotation. We will test our fake method is data cached. Here we will use assertTrue method. I will explain assertions in next section too. You can run single test via green triangle near test data cached method or run all tests if you click green triangle near class. Let's click triangle near the class. You can choose run or debug. OK, click run. We see that our test is failed. It expects that method returns true, but it returned false. In our case, test failed because we didn't initialize it. Let's add before each annotation. This method will be executed before each method with test annotation. In this method we will initialize our fake cache. And we will add assertAll method that will clear our cache after each test. We will rerun our test. You can click green triangle in run section too. Cool, we have our first pass test. JUnit also has before all and after all annotation. They will be executed only once before all tests and after all tests. You can also see that it is a static method. JUnit 5 has a great user guide that you can use during tests implementation. I will add JUnit website link under this video. On the left side you can click on writing test section and click annotations to see available annotations and their detailed descriptions. In previous test we added assertTrue method. In this section we will review other asserts methods. Since our test class can transform only 3 numbers, let's test them all on correct values. We will use assertAll method together with assert method. AssertAll method fails if at least one of the checks fails. We will check 1, 2 and 3 numbers. Click green triangle. The test failed. As you can see, we expect that our class will transform 3 into 3 string, but actually it doesn't. Cool, we found a defect in our code. Let's fix the typo. Done. Rerun the test. Now it passed. Next we will test incorrect value. We saw that 0 value will produce exception. We will add assertThrows check, and we need to check message too. Now rerun the test. It passed, our class works correctly. As you can see in run section, our tests are named based on methods names. We can change it with a display name annotation. Click green triangle. We change the display name. We can use the same approach for the class name. Done, we changed it too. Now we switch to assumptions. As you remember, we initialize cache before each test. And it means that is data cached returns true. Assume method allows us to execute test only if some condition is satisfied. If add assume false method for is data cached, then everything after assume false method will not be executed. Click green triangle. As you can see, before each and after each was called, but is data cached is true. That is why other part of the test was not executed. Let's imagine that we implemented functionality that transforms 4 to 4 string but didn't deliver it with this release, or some test fails for some reasons. In this case we can add disabled annotation to not to run the test. We can add a comment if necessary. We can also disable the whole test. In this case all test methods will be ignored. I will show you another way, how to exclude some tests from the run. JUnit has a tag annotation. Okay, I will delete disabled annotation and add tag release 1.0. We will also need to update build Gradle file. For instance, we want to exclude release 1.0, then add exclude tags. Rerun test and we can see that one test was excluded. Let's change build file to include tag release 1.0 and then rerun. Only one test was executed. Finally, we will add timeout annotation that will mark test failed. If it is not completed during required time, we will set 1 millisecond to have our test failed for sure. Okay, it failed, now change to 100 and it will pass. Now we completed our quick guide. Not all functionality was covered in this video, but now you can create your more complex tests based on my examples. Subscribe to my channel to not to miss new videos. See you in next videos.